Hello and welcome to My Xbox and Me, episode 374. Could have got that wrong, it might be 75. I am one of your hosts, MC Fixer, alongside the sleepy, Too Fresh Crash. Crash, how are you?
How do you know I'm sleepy?
I saw it in your eyes. I saw it when you came into the Discord. I was like, "We're getting sleepy Crash today." It don't mean there ain't gonna be energy, but it was a, you boys have fucked me up today, man.
It's 5 in the morning.
Oh, gee, Crash, why'd you do it to yourself?
Why not?
You know what? I can't really. Now I understand why you need the coffee so much.
Yeah.
That makes so much more sense now. I love you, Crash. I love you. And the one and only, the producer, Mr. Matt P. Video. Matt, how are you?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. It's a big week. It's a big week.
It's been
some things happened.
It's one of those weeks where, like, obviously we're getting to it. We're recording on a Saturday, which we don't usually record on Saturdays. We would have hit it perfectly. This would have been an episode where we would have put it out straight away because of what it was. But ultimately, I'm glad we didn't, because I think there's a bigger conversation to be had about this week. So we will have that right after I say all this. Welcome to My Xbox and Me, our weekly Xbox podcast. You can get the show early. Head over to patreon.com/mcfixer, along other places. Remember, you've got podcast services, you've got YouTube, you've got it all. But big shout out to our Patreon producers this week, Aaron Guard and FNH Paul. Thank you for the support, guys. We do appreciate you, boys, more than you would know. Topic of the show, as we alluded to, GTA 6 has leaked. It may be the biggest leak in video game history.
I think so.
I don't think there's a maybe about it.
I mean, you know, I have so many feelings. So many feelings, so many emotions, so much to get through here. But, Crash, how did you feel when you knew the game had been leaked?
I didn't really... it sucks for the developers. I haven't really cared for GTA, so I didn't really care that it leaked, ultimately. And then I watched the gameplay, and I saw people's reactions.
We'll get to all of that, trust me. But Matt, you wake up, you wipe your eyes after a drunken night out, you look on Twitter, and it's trending, and you're like, GTA 6 always trended. And then you actually find out it's leaked. How do you feel?
Yeah, well, it's surprising how accurate your description of my morning was there. Yeah, and I think it's absolutely what you said. Like, I saw GTA 6 trending, kind of assumed it'd be fake, watched a few of the clips and stuff, still thought maybe this is fake, and then just more and more and more started to tumble away as I delved more into it. 90 plus videos, some dating like sort of 9-8 months back. It's huge. Like you say, it's the biggest video game leak of all time. It could only have happened to a GTA, I think. I'm not sure there are many other games with that kind of caliber where people would be talking about it as much as they are, and it would be as big of a deal as much of it is. And that's
a great point.
Shocking.
I don't think there is another. I can't think of another game that would hit on a mainstream level like this.
I think it also has to do with how closed off they are.
Yes.
It's like you look at, I think like a Call of Duty leaking isn't that big because Call of Duty releases every year, but also they show off Call of Duty pretty much right away. They don't hide a lot from Call of Duty. No, where GTA is like, even when we announce we're doing GTA, all we're going to give you is a teaser. You're not even going to get gameplay until basically the game comes out.
Until we're ready. Until we're ready to show you what we want to. What they want to show, they will show it. What was you going to say, Matt? Before I move on.
The only thing I was going to say is, like, obviously this happened with Red Dead to nowhere near the same extent, right? But you know, Rockstar don't fuck around, and with Red Dead, I think they sued for 1.3 million, was it? Something like that. And so, yeah, it was a matter of time, I think, before the hammer came down, and I'm sure they will scrub the internet as clean as they can of this stuff. But I think it was downloaded like over 10,000 times, like the folder of 90 videos, and so it's out there. It'll be interesting to see what Rockstar's kind of longer term approach to now officially announcing and showing off what this game is.
So-
like I say, they're not going to rush it. But
Yeah, before we go any further, I do want to say, and I said it on Twitter and I'll say it again, as much as it reminds me of like it sucks. In any way, shape, or form, this sucks. Like, I am, as you all know, I am entrenched in the GTA community at this point. I play a modded version of the game. It ultimately, GTA 6 will be a humongous thing for me at some point with the way roleplay works and stuff like that, right? And I'm gagging for a new GTA. GTA 5 is one of my top 5 games of all time, period.
Sure.
But this sucked. It was, so I had this similar with you guys. Like, I saw it trending. Me and Haley were getting ready to go out. Saw it trending. Watched the videos and was like, yeah, this is probably real, but I'm not going to believe it. And then it was only when I waited for like an official Jason Schreier tweet that was like, this is real. And I was like, oh no. I only watched like 3 videos though. I didn't watch, obviously there's 90 out there as we're saying. And
Yeah.
I knew how much this was going to hurt developers in a way of like, can you imagine the stress, anxiety, hard work that has gone into making this game? And we're still years away, by the way. Don't think this means it's coming next year.
No,
Maybe.
God, no.
Like, I very much doubt that. But all that time, effort, all the work you've put in for it to be shown in not the way you want it to be shown is such a horrible experience, I can imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's also like people are judging it is another thing. Is like it's clearly not a done game. Like Matt was saying, I think some of the videos were like 2 years old. They were from like 2019 or something like that.
Yep.
Oh, was it that far back? Oh, wow.
Yeah, it went pretty far back. So it's like you're judging off of something that clearly, like, it's not even like a maybe, it's like old footage. It's like clear that some of the models aren't done. They're missing features and stuff like that. And you're judging it as if it's a final product. And it's like, you wonder why developers aren't really open during the development process. Is because as soon as they see something, people are ready to like, that is the game. That is what I'm judging whether I'm getting or the game or not.
I can't tell if it was just immature teens on Twitter. Twitter's my space, right? Twitter is the space in which I live on. That is where I'm most active when it comes to, especially my video game news and conversations and things like that. Twitter is my place. And it can be a cesspool of absolute hate most of the time. And I couldn't tell if it was just teens who don't understand how game development works, or it was just adults that are absolute complete idiots. And
Both.
I couldn't... Like, are you that stupid to think that this was...
Yeah,
Look at what...
both. That's absolutely correct.
It's not... You can't really spoil anything, but I'm just saying, if you don't want to
No,
know absolutely anything that was shown, I guess maybe skip this week's episode. Like, the only video that I saw was the one where they were in the cafe sort of thing.
Yeah.
And then the one of them walking by the pool.
Those are the ones I watched as well.
And like the top ones that were pretty much, I didn't download a folder or go into a folder. I just saw the two that were I think it was one more as well that I watched. And I was like, this. I'll be honest with you, it got me more excited. But maybe it's because I play a modded version of GTA that I'm seeing animations and I'm seeing things and I'm like, oh. If that's already in there, just imagine what mods are going to add. Like,
I've been very critical of GTA in the past, and I'll be honest, when I watched the leaked stuff, I was like, oh, wow, GTA is actually looking like it's going to be solid this time around. The aiming, which you can't really tell how the aiming is going to be in the end, it did look smoother.
Animation that they showed and all.
Yeah, it looks better. Obviously, it's not done, and I think that's the biggest shame. Is like, imagine we had seen the finished product if it is going to be better when it's completely done, when it's polished and finished. The amazement from that, as opposed to seeing like the progression of it, and especially like so many people are judging it off of that. When I think like when you're really looking at it from the game design aspect, there's so much stuff that's really cool that's happened in at least the leaked stuff I've watched, and there's 90 videos of stuff.
Yeah, no, I'm in 100% agreement with you. I think as you get older, you get more wiser anyway, right? But like, again, not to harp on about RP, but like, because I play RP now and I watch like the RP developers, and I don't know why I'm doing quotes there, they are developers, but I watch the RP developers and I see how much it takes to get a character to hug each other at the same time, or to do an arrest animation. Now seeing that, I'm like, oh, this looks potentially really good. I don't need the glossy finish on top of it. And that's all the graphics are, is a glossy finish. Like, 100%. I don't know why people can't understand that. Please go on, Matt.
And so much, and you know, I love this kind of, like, obviously it's terrible that it got leaked, but I love seeing behind the scenes stuff. One of my favorite things after all this was all the other developers coming out, like going, look at what Spider-Man looked like 6 months before launch. Yep. It looks like a bunch of gray buildings and like there's nothing to it. Like, it's fascinating to see a bit of a peek behind the curtain of how these games are made and how complex it is. Like, one of the things I loved seeing in this was like AI sightlines and how AI tracks onto stuff. Like, they will add red beams coming out of their faces essentially, and like how an AI character will look at your character, or a cop will try and track you. I just found that kind of stuff really fascinating and really interesting to see. And I wanted to just touch on that point of like the developer stuff. That is the best thing that's come from all of this, is the developers coming together and F you to, again, these teens or adults that don't have a brain cell at this point. Is like them not all coming together and just being like, hey, look, this is how game development is. It is hard. It takes years. Like, why are you judging this thing? And not only that, like, it takes a lot to show the behind, like, ultimately, these are companies that are showing off tech that they probably shouldn't be showing off because it can help their competitors, right? Like,
GTA had all its source code. Like, GTA 6's source code is out there. That's like the craziest part. It's like one of the things where people are talking about there's a possibility the game will get delayed. I know in their response, Rockstar said that it's not getting delayed, but I'm sure that's just as like, you just say that like it hasn't affected anything. We have no release date, so we don't know if it'll get delayed or not.
You can't delay something that doesn't have a release date. Like, internally, maybe they had a date in their mind, which I'm sure was secretive amongst the top people or whatever, and now maybe that's changed, maybe it hasn't. But like you say, this game's so far out anyway. Like, delaying it doesn't mean anything, whether or not it does.
Yeah, it just makes me sad.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, ultimately, it just makes me sad. It makes me sad. It's just like, we can't have nice things. And like, there's more to talk about. Obviously, we haven't really touched on since this all leak came out. Obviously, over in the UK, we've kind of found who has leaked it. Matt, I don't know too much about this, allegedly. So talk to me. What's going on?
A 17-year-old from Oxfordshire has been arrested on suspicion of doing this leak. And they are linked to, allegedly, other leaks as well from other companies and stuff like that. And apparently it's a case of kind of lurking around in Slack channels and gaining backdoor access to Slack channels, and then just sitting and waiting for apparently maybe 2 years or longer, and downloading files and storing them up. But the 90 files that came out, I mean, they were, again, allegedly, there are more than 90 files that are out there. And that they were looking to make a deal or something. But Rockstar don't play like that. Rockstar gonna come for you.
So, ultimately, it's a 17-year-old dumb kid. Not dumb, actually. Very smart kid. He knows what he's doing. Bit of a off-topic from the My Xbox and Me podcast, but Matt, you throwing the book at him?
Man, I don't know. I don't know.
I'm letting you guys know. I'm sure I am the brash one of this podcast, and I'm probably the most outspoken sometimes and stuff. I am throwing the book at him. Prison time, boy. I'm telling Rockstar, whatever the highest punishment is that you can get out of this, get it. Show every other one of these little hackers, you don't come for us.
I will say the fact that it's like he's allegedly involved with multiple companies. I think that's the thing where it's like something should happen at this point. And I will say, like, even with Bungie fighting the people who make cheats and stuff like that, I think it's cool seeing developers fight against people who I feel like abuse game companies in a degree. And I'm not saying that from the perspective, because even with this whole thing, there was this perspective of like, well, I don't care about Rockstar. I don't care about this leaking because of Rockstar. And I think people need to understand that the developers and Rockstar are two different entities at all time. Bungie and the developers are two different groups at all times. One's employer and employee. One's the people who get the money from the product. The other ones are the people who are paid to make the product, and essentially put all their heart and time into the game. And so putting them both on a level, like, you cannot care for Rockstar, but say then you don't care for the developers. I think that's either people don't realize what they're saying, or they're just being really brash about what they're saying.
I saw some really awful takes of like, oh, yeah, well, Rockstar deserved this because they hadn't shown the game in 10 years.
Yeah, that's so stupid. I saw that as well. That one actually pissed me off, because that's like, you are owed nothing at all, like nothing whatsoever from anybody. The
entitlement that this, I don't know if it's this next generation or if it's just gamers as a whole. So I'm just going to generalize as gamers, right? Why are you so entitled?
It's ignorance. They don't understand what it takes.
Nor
they don't
do
appreciate.
I, though. I don't truly understand it either, Matt. I don't truly understand how long it takes and how hard it takes to make a game. But I can put 2 and 2 together. I'm pretty sure if they could do it in 5 minutes, they would. Not 5 years, 10 years, 20.
Yeah. I really don't. I really don't think it's ignorance, because ignorance is just not knowing. I think they just really don't care. Yeah, is what it comes down to. Yeah. Because like you read the statements from these people, the tweets they put out, and it's very much so along the lines of like, there's nothing you could convince them to give any sort of sympathy to the developers or to the situation. It's like, oh, Rockstar were being assholes by not showing us the game up until now. We should have seen something. More than them telling us that they're working on GTA, we should have seen something at this point, which is an absurd statement.
Yeah, of course. And it's so much easier said than done, but these people are hiding behind fake Twitter pictures and names, right? Like, it's not
even the ones that are not, they're just so bashfully don't care.
Well, but, yeah. Well, then they're just fucking idiots, and we all know it. So fuck them.
Yes, Matt, get them. No, it's just I saw, but I'm talking about like people that I know like have had these bad takes. Like, I was at a family barbecue and it was my sister's 16th, and like my uncle finally got a PS5 after 2 years of wanting one and blah 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 blah. And he was like, "Oh, did you see GTA 6 leak?" And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Good, right?" And I'm like, "No." And he's like, I'm sitting there like trying to explain to him like, he's like, "Yeah, but we know more now." And I'm like, "But someone stole it."
And like, you know nothing. Like,
no, but ultimately you do. We know more. We know way more than we would have known without this. You know?
Sure.
You say sure, but it's true. Like, ultimately we do. We do know a lot.
I don't know about way more. Because like a lot of the stuff were rumored. A lot of this only just confirmed a whole bunch of rumors that were out there.
So we know more. Before we could say it was a rumor about playable characters, now we know.
Sure.
I guess.
So we know more. Checkmate.
I'm not giving it to you. I'm just picturing of you doing that. I'm not
funny thing, Crash, we're playing chess. You don't have to give it to me. I'm taking it.
Wow.
That's
rude. Wow. I never agreed to play chess.
You were playing checkers, mate. I'm playing chess. It's sad that we have to talk about this game in this light, in this way, without it being, oh my god, the GTA 6 trailer just dropped, and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, of course. That is the one of the more damaging things is, like, when this now does get announced, it doesn't get the same pop that it will deserve, or, it should have got.
By the way, it's still going to do gangbusters numbers. Still going to be the biggest selling game of all time. It's still going to, yes. Matt's not saying no, but I can already see into the future. Like, what is Matt talking about? No, that's not what Matt's saying.
Sarah Squid would have come for me. You're right.
Yeah, Sarah Squid would have come. But yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I'm excited. I'm so excited. I can be excited. Like, you guys know, lately I ain't really been excited for video games that have been coming out. I haven't. Nothing's really got me going the way this league got me like, oh yeah, I need this. I need this.
In 3 years.
That's 5 years, bro. 10 years. I don't care. I know people will think that's crazy. I generally couldn't care less if it's in 10 years. I'm still excited. Because the amount of time that is put into something doesn't lessen or more the expectation for a thing for me. Where it does for most people, like Final Fantasy 15. I remember when that game came out and everyone was just like, this is trash. It's been in development for how long? And like me, I'm there just like, man, this is a great game. I really enjoyed this. My first Final Fantasy that I've ever finished. I've really connected with this world and these characters. And everyone else is like, but it took this long to make. It's like, so who cares? I mean, the bigger games get, go on, sorry.
Part of the interesting thing for you specifically, right, is that you're so actively still involved in GTA, right? And in this like modded, advanced version of what GTA 5 was.
Yeah.
Do you think there's any way Rockstar like officially somehow support RP in GTA 6?
It's impossible.
Impossible.
It's impossible. You understand how many hoops we jump through currently to even get into roleplay, right? Like, I pay $120 a month, like, to play on a server that's is capped at 200 people. And has to be capped because of the amount of rules that... I'm not saying there won't be something... I feel like this game is going to take elements of what the RP community's built.
Yeah.
100%. 100%. But no, you're never gonna get Rockstar commit to roleplay. It won't happen. It's gone.
The best you would get is more multiplayer features, but technically Rockstar already has its equivalent of roleplay in multiplayer.
Yeah.
If you go and play multiplayer and you get in voice chat, you can talk to people and you can RP if you want. People won't RP. Some of the public servers, Fix mentioned it. Some people just don't RP in public servers. That's all it is in online GTA. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just no. It's too... Roleplay is stringent? Stringent? That's not the right word.
Strict?
Yeah, it wasn't the word I was looking for, but it's too... there are a set of rules, and there's a bunch of unwritten rules, and there's the way you speak, and there's so much to it that even, bro, like, the average person who jumps on the server in NoPixel right now, right? The server writes them a new one. They come in and ask a question, they just get absolute dogpiled. And it's like, I feel terrible for these people, because I'm like, bro, like, we were all new once. We weren't all here for the last 3 years. But they're just like, you should know. But then if you did know, you would be meta-in. Because you'd have the information. And it's a whole conversation for another time. It really is. It really is. But, yeah, man, I'm excited. I think to answer your question, the closest thing that GTA could do is they could actually support the roleplay developers. And, like right now I have to go through 5M.
Sure.
If Rockstar were to make their own, like Halo's got Forge and things like that.
Yeah.
Like if Rockstar were to actually like make the development tools more available to devs, and then have a hub like 5M, which is roleplay servers, and then we're paying Rockstar to get into servers. To me, that makes so much sense. But you still need admins. You still need people to run it. You still need... Like, there's still so much that comes along with it.
Sure. It's just money left on the table, right? Like, I understand the complexity.
So much work.
I
actually don't think it's money left on the table. I think at best it's a net neutral for them to go harder into RP, because GTA 5 is already like the most profiting video game of all time, or it's the piece of entertainment of all time, right? So why would you try and like milk that even more unnecessarily with RP features that the RP community will go and do, and that'll get hype to get even more money in the regular online? Like, it's unnecessary for them, I feel like. And I don't think they should, because I don't know if Rockstar would necessarily understand what makes RP as good as it is.
100%.
I totally agree with that. Yes, I think if they did do it, they wouldn't.
Do you know how many legal ramifications there are in roleplay, bro? There's Nike shoes. That alone is open for lawsuit.
Oh, sure, but I mean, you can get rid of all that stuff without really affecting the core of the game.
That takes away from what roleplay is, though. If I can't drive the BMW that I want to drive, yeah, it's got a different name, but ultimately it's a BMW. You've got the Mercedes-Benz AMG. It's called the AMG. It's not a Mercedes-Benz, but it has the Mercedes logo. Those are the things that is why people care about the game. On top of the roleplay, yes, but it's... Bro, you always want what you can't have, right? That's all that it is, pretty much. But yeah, it's interesting.
Fair enough.
Should we move on, or have we got anything more to say on GTA 6 leaking?
Do you think we get a trailer now this year? Like an official announcement trailer?
I'll be honest, even when they confirmed it, I'm surprised they didn't just do a splash screen. Like, I don't understand. I feel like that would have satisfied so many people that why not just a more glossy GTA 6 is in active development. Boom. Done. Like, I just, like the statement on Twitter what they came out with, like that, even people that were arguing were like, oh, yeah, GTA 6 has not even been announced. They've not told us. I was like, yeah, it has. Like, what do you mean? They've said they're working on GTA 6. So, but if they would have just done a splash screen, placement holder logo thing, I feel like that would have just satisfied more people. But to answer your question, no, I don't think we get a trailer. I don't think we get anything. I'm in agreement of like, I think if anything, this pushes everything back. They're like, great, now we've got more work we've got to do because now we have to get all this stuff offline. And, bro, I'm not going to lie, Rockstar, the company, remind me that could be very petty. As like a whole, they're like, GTA 5 still making millions upon millions upon millions. It's cool, we'll wait. You want to do dumb stuff? We'll wait. Cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think they go really quiet and dark now for a long time to try and get some of that pop back when they do hit. I think if they did it now at Game Awards this year, everybody would just be like, eh.
I don't know. I think no matter what, GTA 6 is going to have a pop regardless. Yes. I think they could drop something today. They could have dropped something the day the leak happened, and I think it still would have had a pop. Because I think that's just what GTA is.
Dude, I remember I was in secondary school, maybe sixth one, I can't remember. No, it would have been secondary school. I remember when GTA 6, no, it would have been sixth one. Sorry. I remember when GTA 5 came out, and like when they were teasing it, and it was a screenshot they put out like once a week on their website.
Yeah.
I remember me and my friends were just refreshing that website every day. Every day. Like that's how deep it is. Like, I think this has ruined their whole rollout though that they probably had planned. Is the thing.
Yeah, I think whenever they show it now, they have to probably show more than they would have, and it has to look good, which I don't doubt that it would look good.
Yeah.
Regardless, by the time they're ready to show it.
Or they just troll us.
I hope they go for the troll. I would love it if they're like, oh, you guys saw more stuff? No, we're still going to do the one picture a week.
Well, not even that. They literally do a trailer where it's just not skinned. Like that we've seen.
Oh, that would be hysterical.
This is GTA 6. Here you go.
That would be hysterical.
Oh, you don't like it?
No chance they do that.
No, of course not. But I think it would be hilarious. I think it would be so funny. So funny. All right, moving on. What has been in your box, boys? What have you been playing?
I played Deathloop on Game Pass on Xbox. Yeah. It was fun. I liked it. I enjoyed it a lot. I think it would have been equal to like the first two levels. I don't know if you consider them levels in that game. I don't know exactly the whole
That's
loop
my biggest problem with Deathloop. It always was.
I like it though.
I think most people do like it, but I didn't like it because I'm such a structured guy.
Fair.
I want a story from start to end, right? And Deathloop really isn't that. And I was like, man, this is very jarring. I couldn't get over that when I was playing the game.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I think it's shaping up to be probably my favorite Arcane game. I think one thing this game does differently than the Dishonored franchise is that Dishonored has a very stealth focus. And this game does have like stealth elements and you can go in stealthy. But with Dishonored, I felt like I was punished whenever I failed the stealth. With this, it feels like when I fail the stealth, I I feel like the game is set up for me to just like sort of just go balls to the wall at that point.
Yep.
And then if I die, I can go back into stealth, and then you get two loop backs before you fully die. And I really enjoy it. I think the changes between them are the differences between Dishonored and this are subtle, other than the graphics. But I do think I really enjoy this game compared to Dishonored, especially Dishonored 2, which I wasn't a huge fan of.
I will echo everything Kresh said. I think I'm probably not as far into it as Kresh is, from the sounds of it. One thing I don't really like about it is there's a lot of text, a lot of reading. That's not a me and Fix type deal. But also I had to like fuck around with the settings loads to like get the text even to a size that I could read it. Because apparently now I'm fucking old. I went for an eye test the other day and they said it was fine. I don't believe them.
I will say shout out to their the whole subtitle text thing and how much you can play around with the text.
I think that is very accessibility cool. Options.
Yeah.
I would assume that's maybe a benefit of us getting it a year late.
I was just about to say that, which I'm like, I don't remember if it was there at launch when I played it, but remember, you are playing a game that's been out for a year. I know it's new to us, new to Xbox.
New to Xbox, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter where it's been.
PC, but yeah, you're right. No, you're right. You're right. Ultimately, you are right. So I respect it. I got a code sent to me from Bethesda. I haven't had a chance to play it again yet. It doesn't have co-op, right? The only multiplayer is like the inserting yourself into... Yeah, cause I feel like the only way... I'll probably play it again just to see if it will get me this time, but probably not, because I do agree with you. The way the story is structured, I disliked. I understand it. I don't think it's bad, but I dislike. That's just not the way I prefer my stories to be told.
Yeah.
And like Matt said, there is so much text. Like... so much. I'm missing out. I feel like I'm missing 50% of the story just because I don't want to sit there and read these notes.
It is very much so like you're trying to solve one big puzzle.
Yeah.
And so like the text does feel like it's going to be, it might not be relevant right now, but it will be relevant somewhere down the line. So you can't just like read it and then forget about it or just not read it.
Yeah, exactly. I think what it wants you to do is it wants you to get to a point where you put 2 and 2 together and something clicks for you and you go, oh shit, like the penny drops and you go, I've figured this out now. Like, at least a part of it. And I think there'll be several moments through the game where that happens. But yeah, I think it does probably require a lot of thought and a lot of reading and a lot of, and I don't know if I will get there either.
2 things I don't like doing when I play video games.
Thinking
read them.
Can I be honest, Fix? I don't know why you enjoy Resident Evil.
This is what I always say as well.
Again, you gotta remember, my love for Resident Evil comes from my granddad. Like that's
Absolutely.
It started as something else. Crash. You realize when I was playing Resident Evil 1 and 2, I didn't realize it was a puzzle game, bro.
I absolutely said that as a joke.
I know, but now you got me amped up, bro. I need to come and defend myself. Yeah, if Resident Evil was released... No, but it proved it. I played Twisted Souls. Remember I played that Twisted Souls game that came out?
Yeah.
And it was so obtuse when it comes to its puzzles. I was like, I love this style of game, but F this. Like, no way.
That game was outdated by today's standards, though, to be fair.
By purpose, but yes. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I fully understand, the purpose of the game.
But, yeah. Okay, so you both played that. Crash, anything else?
Wo Long Fallen Dynasty, the demo, which is the Ninja Theory.
This last week?
No,
you didn't. I must have saw you tweet.
The demo came out afterwards. I think I did. I want to say that I did. I think maybe
that's why I knew you played this. I knew you played it. So
yeah. It's really good. It's very fun. It's very flashy. I think it might be my favorite. I tweeted exactly that it might be my favorite Ninja Theory game. I think I'd have to play more of it and beat it. I do think they do a very good job of this game of being over the top in all the right types of way. Like everything you do with the character is flashy. When you dodge, if you time the dodge right, you sort of you sort of push the person away and you get an opening to attack. You can jumping next to a wall gives you a double jump. That's flashy. A lot of this stuff is just very, very flashy and feels very satisfying to do in the game. I like the way the stamina meter works in the game. You don't actually have a stamina meter, but if you attack people, you get meter that lets you use spells and your abilities. And then as you use them, you go away and you start in a neutral position. And if you're more aggressive, you can get more meter that lets you use more spells. But even in the neutral position, you can use abilities, and then you hit the negative, and then you can be locked out of those abilities. I thought all of that felt really, really dope to do.
I would agree with everything Crash said. I also played it. My only addition to that would be, I think, at least initially, those systems that you're talking about are maybe just a bit complex for me, like straight out the door. Like I would have preferred put me in somewhere, like there's a tutorial that talks you through it all, it's fine, but like let me play around with your like core concepts for a while and then start introducing me to magic and shit, because I just feel a bit overwhelmed at the start.
Is the demo?
I will say,
is the demo like you dropped you in somewhere in the middle of the game? It's not
it
the
does.
start of the game. Okay, it makes sense.
So this is how Ninja Theory does all of their demos. They always do the online beta type of demos where it's like available for a week or whatever, and they always throw you into the middle of it with a good amount of skills. And I think the purpose behind that is like they want to give you a real feel for the game, as opposed to like, here's the intro when you're not fully powered up and all that type of stuff.
100%. And look, it's fantastic they've done a demo, and I'm way more now excited to play this game than I was previous. It's not a game that I'd been following previously, but I saw people talking about the demos, thought I'd jump in and try it, and I'm glad I did, and now I'm looking forward to the full release. So by no means has put me off, but I did just feel like in comparison to a lot of like Souls games and stuff like that, like there's a lot of systems here that I need.
This is also your first. I think I said Ninja Theory earlier. I meant Team Ninja, not Ninja Theory.
Easy mistake to make, and yes, it is my first.
It is,
game
I eased more into it because I've played Team Ninja games. I think there's also that added layer to it as well.
Sure.
I didn't check out the demo. I'll go be honest with you. I have played nothing this week.
Fix it's available till the 26th. Not checking out that demo.
I played nothing this. No, do you know what? I did play. I played more Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Still working my way through that. People were saying I'm further in than they thought I would be. So, which is interesting. I don't feel like I'm that far in, to be honest with the main story. But I have done a lot of the fast travel points and stuff like that, which makes things so much easier. So still slowly working my way through that. What else did I download? I swear I downloaded something the other day. I can't remember. Let me open my Xbox app.
While you figure that out, I'll chat about something I've been playing, which is Serial Killers, which is a new game from 505. Awesome concept in that you are a team of cleaners that go into mass murder sites and clean up.
Oh, it's that game.
Back.
Wait, that's out?
That's out.
Huh.
Cool concept. Artistically cool execution. Gameplay wise, not really the game I was kind of hoping it would be. It's way more arcadey. Like I thought this would be like, I'm going to go in, I'm going to sneak around, I'm really going to plan out what I'm doing. I need to go bag that body up and then clean up the blood over here and then drag the body out through this way. It's not that. It's super arcadey. The cops are dumb as fuck. You are encouraged to run around this thing like a playground and get in and out as quickly as possible, as chaotically as possible, which is fun once you kind of get that frame of mind in. But if you try and play it like a super lockdown stealth game, you won't have fun playing this game. It's not what it's designed to be. I mean, there's even a mechanic in the game where you can literally like power slide on blood, and if you bump into a cop while doing that, you knock them out. That's the kind of game this is. It's a super arcadey, fun, fast, goofy cleanup game.
Fair enough. The game I was thinking about, I can't remember, and I must have uninstalled it straight away because it's not on my Xbox game list. But I did download Dead by Daylight and bought the Resident Evil skins that I wanted.
You did. Of course you did.
I've never been more disappointed in you, Fix.
I can't help it. You know, it's one of those ones. What am I meant to do? Like,
you did what you're meant to do, Fix.
I'm a piece of shit. I'm a piece of shit. I'm a piece of shit.
Why are you saying that?
Because
did it make you happy?
No, I felt sick doing it.
You shouldn't have done it, Fix. You fucked up. You messed up.
I tell you why I'm a piece of shit. Because, Crash, I judged you so heavily with your Smite skins and things like that.
That's very true.
I judged you
That is very
so. You
true.
don't know, Craig. What I said to your face is one thing. What I thought was another. Like, I judged you so heavy. And now I'm like, now it's something that I
Get
care
it.
about. I'm like,
You get it.
you're disgusting. You're just a filthy piece of meat, and you don't deserve to have any friends. That's how I feel. That's how I feel.
Wow.
Yeah.
Call me a friend fix.
Any suggestions for what I need to? Generally, if you're saying to me like, because we got obviously we are on the back end of the year now, right? Question, Crash. I don't know about you, Matt. Crash. Do you want to? I'm being deadly serious. I know I keep saying it, blah blah blah, but I'm being serious. Do you want to start and play Borderlands?
Yes. When do you want to do it?
Let's do that off the stream. I don't. Let's do it off of the podcast. But no. But I'm saying we should stream it on my Xbox and me.
I'd be down. I'm down for that.
Not because I'm not gonna lie to you. Our friendship has become the podcast and not us playing games anymore, and that hurts me. But I'm too scared to ask you, do you want to play games? Because I'm like, he's probably busy or he has other friends now. He doesn't need me anymore. I'm just like, oh, I don't. He's not awake at 4 o'clock in the morning anymore, unless it's for the podcast. You know,
I'd wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning.
No, I don't want you to wake up at the 4 o'clock. I think we should stream
wake up at 4 o'clock.
evening.
We're only streaming at 4 o'clock in the morning now. If I'm not up at 4 o'clock in the morning, I'm not streaming. You've set it up.
That's my fault.
That's the requirement.
No, but I'm thinking like, even if it is just us jumping on for an hour, we just stream it on the My Xbox and Me channel, and we just crack along with it as much as we can. Matt, the problem is with inviting you is you work at normal times.
No. I wasn't doing a sad face or anything like that. I totally back you two playing together without me.
Okay.
Also, Borderlands, so not my thing. And I've tried it a million times. I haven't tried Tiny Tina, but not for me.
If you don't own it, I don't think it's worth buying.
You should own it. I'm pretty sure I got in my code.
Don't think so.
I don't think so.
Huh. Well, that's all good. I got you a code, Crash, right?
No.
One thing that we could stream and play all three of us together
Yep.
is the 1.0 release of Grounded that's hitting next week.
Is that next week?
I think so.
That makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. We'll check the date.
Yeah, it's September 28th.
We need to book it in. Okay, so then we're doing it. September 28th, My Xbox and Me stream. Yes, let me check my diary right this precise second.
Because I have jumped back into Grounded recently. Just to kind of get myself acclimated with the game
this
again.
is the problem,
good, man.
This is the problem, though. You've already... Has he not ruined it already?
Yeah.
He has.
Well, I disagree with that. I will fight you.
Okay,
It's
I'll fight you.
about the discovery.
It's about
that raw experience.
Thank
Matt.
you.
It's supposed to go in raw, Matt. You don't pull out, you go in raw.
Disgusting. All the stuff they're adding, that's all the interesting discovery stuff.
No.
The stuff that I'm getting acclimated to is the boring survival stuff. The one we're like, oh, how do I make a bed?
Yeah,
and
but that's the content, Matt. That's the content.
All right, fuck it. I ruined it then. I'll delete it. You two play.
No,
but seriously, like, no jokes aside, that is the fun part. Like, in playing Raft, like the funnest part about Raft is not knowing a goddamn thing about the game and just going through and discovering why we need all this plastic and all this sand and all this other stuff.
So here's what we'll do. One of you two can stream your gameplay of it, and I will lurk in the background.
No, but we know you're lurking. Is the problem? We know you.
We know you know.
We know you know. So we're not gonna have that same.
If I get stuck, I'm gonna walk over to you, and I'm not gonna be looking at you. I'm gonna be looking at Fix, who's way over there. I'm gonna be like, "Gee, I wonder how I make this bed." And I'm just gonna hope you answer me. And if you don't answer me, I'm gonna take that personally as an insult. Like, Matt doesn't want to tell me how to make the bed.
This is how we know you're not a content creator yet. This is how we know, because you're not thinking content. You're thinking fun. You're thinking playing games. You're thinking enjoyment. That's not what content creation's about. How dare you?
To be fair, part of the reason I went back into Grounded was for work. I didn't have
Excuses.
a choice.
Whatever. The question is there a way that we
Not
can,
work?
That's true. I could just not do my job.
Is there a way that we can set it up that we can all show our gameplays? It's so much work, isn't it? That's the only problem with the my Xbox and me. There is a way. There is a way, but
we have the technology.
We do have the technology, but it's just so much work without like an actively live producer.
Yeah.
Okay.
We can do that off pod.
Maybe.
No, they're not doing it. I was going to say if they put PvP in there, then we could do you two versus me, and I could just hunt you.
No.
Like the
I
ultimate.
want to play the story mode.
Yeah, me too. I'm looking forward to it.
Okay, we're doing it. We are starting it again. Cool. Let's get into this week's dashboard and get through. No. Go on, Crash. Go on, please.
I just wanted to really quick say that if you haven't, you should really watch the Cyberpunk anime. It's really good. Cyberpunk Edge Runner. I just wanted to bring that up.
I've been seeing so much Cyberpunk stuff lately of people going like, "Hey, Cyberpunk's a really fucking good game. Get back in Cyberpunk."
Yeah, it's back.
Yeah, it's getting a million players a day.
Is it really good though?
I think it is good.
It's not good enough.
For me, I would. Me and Matt were talking about it before the podcast yesterday. I enjoy it more than I enjoy like a Fallout or something like that.
Yeah, podcast yesterday? This is how Crash is telling you we're
doing
our own podcast
last week.
Wait, what?
Last week we recorded like yesterday.
Guys? Yeah. But is it actually good and worth? Like I've got it, and I'm like sitting there like.
It is the best that it's run up till this date. I think it is good.
The running stuff I really don't care about. Is the game good?
I think the game was good back then. I think it's better than back then. I think if you don't like the idea behind the game, you just won't like the game.
I think I found another thing I don't care about.
I think for you is like you're gonna go into that game and you'll be like, I play GTA. This isn't GTA. It's very much so not supposed to be.
It's not GTA, right?
I would say it's more comparable to like a Fallout, is what I would put it at, more so than a GTA. And if you go into it with that expectation, I think it's a great game. I think if you go into it like, I want a GTA, like you're never going to get that because that's not what it's supposed to be. Yeah. It's an RPG.
It was interesting when I played it, but
I think there's a possibility you like it because I do think that there are like story elements and story beats that you'd like and stuff about the world. Yeah. I just don't know if you'd like the whole package is the problem.
Gotcha. All right. Maybe. It's a solid maybe from me. Do you know what? I should have got it on PC. That's the problem.
Oh, you got it on Xbox.
Got it on Xbox. Should have got it on
I think
PC.
It's on sale right now. I don't know what the sale is. I don't know.
No, Crash. I'm not buying it again. I have it on Xbox. I'll play it on
what? You can play mouse and keyboard on Xbox now. It got added as a feature for the game.
I don't have time to be plugging in mouse and keyboards to my Xbox.
That's why I've been playing it with controller.
Anyway, that's actually. Am I actually gonna get like a separate wireless mouse and keyboard just so I can?
That's a hassle. Is all I'm saying. Because then you gotta move it. You gotta.
Nah, that's not. That's less than a hassle. That's less than a hassle.
You know what? We also need to play, just to make this podcast go on even longer than it already has. The COD beta. Have you jumped in at all, Fix?
Okay, I need to admit something.
Uh-oh.
So on last week's podcast, we spoke about Call of Duty, right? And I was saying how multiplayer, I might jump in heavy, blah 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 blah. Yeah. And then Crash was like, yeah, but what about Warzone 2.0? Like surely that's where you're gonna jump in, Fix.
That's where you can jump in.
I didn't know Warzone 2.0 was a thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you did.
Crash, I swear to you, I've been so out of the loop this year with video game news.
We talked about it. We had to have talked about it on this podcast.
I just nodded and smiled, bro. I didn't realize there was like a whole new Warzone coming out.
Yeah, it's a thing. It's an actual thing.
Yeah, Crash. I thought like it was just like, oh, when it finally does happen.
This person just say like hypothetical.
Yeah, I thought you were just like talking in a hypothetical. So, Crash, I want you to know, I'm going back to Warzone 2.0. Yeah. Fuck multiplayer. I don't need it anymore. I'm going back to Warzone 2.0. I haven't played it myself. But I watched a load of streams. I love what they've done with the gun classes in terms of you level up whatever ARs, pistols, SMGs, and it classes them all up to lessen the grind. Oh my god, yes. So,
I've seen some gameplay bits here and there, and I'm actually liking what I see with this game. I think it's the first Call of Duty multiplayer where I've seen where I'm like, oh, I could see myself playing that and enjoying it.
No more slide canceling.
No more slide canceling.
Huge.
Yeah.
Because that sucked. They've already figured out how to sort of drop shot again.
I mean, people do that. And do you know? So the conversation about skill-based matchmaking came up again because, of course, it did Call of Duty. And the reason people figuring out how to do that is the reason skill-based matchmaking will be a thing.
What, people figuring out how to drop shot and probably slide cancel again and stuff like that?
Yeah, it's stuff like that. There's just a skill. There's an immediate skill gap between the people who want to break the game and make it as easy for themselves as possible. And I don't say easy in like a negative way, but like they want to do as good as possible. Yeah. And the people who just want to go on and have fun. And the best way to do that and the fairest way to do that is in skill-based matchmaking.
Do you think it gets us back?
Yeah.
I'm with you, Matt. I think for a solid month, I'm there.
Yeah, exactly. In the same way that Warzone got me back. Yeah, I played Warzone probably 2-3 months, something like that. Yeah. And then on and off again for the next 6 or whatever, and then
don't even pay attention to Crash. Crash is this is what's gonna happen. Crash doesn't care. Then I'm streaming it. Crash comes in. How is it, Fix? It's really good, Crash. I'm enjoying it. Then Matt. Yo, Matt. Yo, Fix. It's Matt. What up, Matt? How are you? I want to jump in and play some Call of Duty on my lunch break with you. Okay, perfect. Matt jumps into our game. Crash is still watching. Yo, Fix, you got space? Yeah, man, I got space. You want to jump in? And he's like, oh, I need to download it though, man. How big's the game? I think it's like 100 gig, Crash. Oh, I'm going to have to uninstall stuff, man. All right, cool. Boom. Installs it. Crash starts playing. Enjoys it, but not enough to keep it installed. Uninstalls the game.
And never plays again.
2 weeks later, Crash, jump on with me, please. I'm getting battered by people. Let's play some duos. Oh, if I have to. Installs it again. There you go.
I just found out that Crash was from East London.
Yeah, no,
he's
from South East.
I was like, I recognize it. That is not a typical mixed accent that he gave me there. That's like some sort of accent.
I didn't want to do a New York accent, all right? Forget about it.
Could you do a New York accent?
Bada bing, bada boom. Hey, forget about it. Best pizza
in
town.
Italian accent.
Yeah, a lot of Italians in New York, right?
What was that?
Is there not a lot of Italians in New York?
Sure, there's a lot of Italians in New Jersey as well.
I just assumed because there's great pizza, there would be a lot of Italian people. That was a leap I made. I made that leap.
There undoubtedly are a lot of Italian.
Then I smashed it.
There are a lot of Italian people in New York, yes.
Then I smashed it. We really need to move on so we can get through the rest of this news this week. First news story: Splinter Cell remake will update the story for a modern day audience. So for those of you who don't know, Ubisoft Toronto are developing the Splinter Cell remake, and the scriptwriter had this to say. You will join the narrative... wait, no, maybe I'm talking crap. Yeah, honestly, there ain't much here.
No.
Nope.
There ain't. I'm reading it real quick. There's nothing here. But the story's going to be modernized.
There wasn't a lot of news this week, to be honest.
To be fair, there's a new story next, which could have been topic of the show easily.
That's true.
Absolutely.
On a slow news week, it would have been.
Yes, Matt P. video.
Very quickly, you played the original Splinter Cell?
The original.
Yeah, that's whatever they're remaking.
No.
Okay.
Well,
I was going to ask you to recap the story, because I'm not sure anybody who played the original game could recap the story of that game.
Have I played it? Yes. I remember one of the times my dad stole my PlayStation 2 and sold it to a customer and brought me home an Xbox, big one, and a copy of Splinter Cell. I remember that, yes. So I played it for about 10 minutes, was like, give me back my PlayStation 2, please. But, yeah. No, not to remember the story of. No, unfortunately not.
I'm sure there are some people out there who die hard, but I don't. Off the top of my head, I couldn't recap the story of the original Splinter Cell, and I would have no idea what modernizing it for a new modern day audience means.
Making it.
I think that's the
the
reason.
point. I think
It's
that's the
because
point.
Sure.
Splinter Cell came at a time where video game stories didn't make sense. And to a degree, like a lot of video game stories still don't really necessarily make sense. The purpose of them is for you to play the game, which is fine. It's fine enough if that's all you're setting out to do and not trying to push the narrative. But I think that's kind of the purpose of this is like modernizing the story isn't like we're going to modernize the tech and the settings and stuff like that. It's like, no, we're going to give you a modern video game story and like try and base it as close to possible as whatever the original story was.
Yeah. I'm for it. If you're telling me you're gonna give me a really good Splinter Cell game with a decent story, cool. Give me
What
a
if they
reason
say-
to want to love this series, 100%.
We're going to modernize the story in the style of Resident Evil and Deathloop. In that, you're just going to be reading the whole fucking thing.
No, that's not what Splinter Cell's about. Get out of here. Just stop.
But that's the modern Splinter Cell.
Get the hell out of here. Next up, Iron Man game in development at EA and Motif Studios. EA have shared a little bit of news about the next game that they're working on, and well, at Motive anyway. And it's an Iron Man game, guys. I mean, Motive. What games do they make? I feel like I'm just got
Star
a
Wars
blank.
Squadrons.
Okay, not for me.
Dead Space remake.
They're on the Dead Space
That's as
remake
far
as
as
well.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Team is being led by the person who produced Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yes, I was going to get to that. Thank you very much. Yeah, so...
I'll be honest. Not excited.
So, you know who should have made this game?
BioWare.
100%. Why is BioWare not making this game?
If I like, there's a possibility like whatever they did for Anthem still
They could be
exists
just
somewhere.
passing over.
Yeah, if that's the case, cool. I'd be happy because, like, to me, I'm going to be judging the gameplay based off how Anthem played.
100%.
And you could complain about a lot of stuff with Anthem. The gameplay is not one of the things. Like that was the best part about Anthem.
Yes, which is wild, by the way, right? Like the game was good, yet the game still failed. Usually, it's like the game sucks, but everything else is okay. No, the game was good, but everything they needed to do around the game was just trash.
Yeah.
Wild. Yeah, man. I'm not really excited by this either. Sorry, Matt. Go on. Share your
No,
excitement.
I'm not either because
Oh.
I don't think Iron Man as a character lends himself well to a video game. I don't know how you make that. Like even in Marvel's Avengers, Iron Man doesn't feel like Iron Man should. Like
No.
he's super restrictive in where he can go and move and fly, and then his combat is like almost entirely melee based. It's like,
Matt,
the fuck is this?
did you play a game called Anthem?
I played a little bit of Anthem.
You didn't play
thing
enough
with-
then. Trust
The
me.
thing with Anthem is you're fighting horde alien things, right? And so there can be
Yeah.
lots of them.
Yeah.
There's no like, and they can have like different like levels of power and stuff like that. Like, were you gonna be flying around New York as Iron Man, shooting the shit out of cops?
I
and
just
robbers?
want to say
no.
Can you not be on the
they
move?
haven't said the game takes place in
I was gonna say in
New
Earth.
York. On Earth, they didn't say you're not fighting aliens. They didn't set up any sort of parameters for the game.
You're putting
I think-
putting Iron Man in the box, and I don't like it.
Yeah. You know what, Matt? I like it. You put Iron Man in New York where he belongs. I feel that. I vibe with that. But like, maybe
I get what
he
you
wants
mean.
to
I think
be
it's
let out a little
hard,
bit.
right? Like Iron Man shoots rockets from his arms. Like he can't be
Yeah.
fighting just human beings.
I think Iron Man has sort of a similar issue to like if they ever made a Superman game. It's like, how do you make a Superman game work in as a game?
Exactly. And the reason they're picking Iron Man is he's one of now Marvel's biggest characters. But I would much rather this be about almost anybody else.
We're already getting a Captain America, Black Panther, and two soldiers that no one gives a fuck about.
And
game.
look, we're reaching a stage now. You know, I'm the big Marvel guy. She-Hulk is kind of
testing
weak.
your patience.
Okay, and like,
oh, on the subject, I watched Thor: Love and Thunder.
And
What a pile of dog! Was I just okay? Man, we are so tangent this week. Like, was I on the Marvel Kool-Aid for too long, and those films are not as good as I remember, or are these films getting progressively worse?
You guys are both on the Marvel Kool-Aid. Matt's still on it. He's weaning off right now.
Going through withdrawal.
So we did go cinema to see it. Obviously, it got added to Disney Plus, and we were like, "Oh, we'll watch that at some point." Finally, sat down to watch it, and I was just like, "Oh my god, this is weak."
I haven't. To be fair, I haven't watched this. So I have no clue like how it is in respect to the other Marvel movies.
I don't want to spoil it, but Jesus Christ, like, get these kids out of here. I ain't got time for this shit.
Yeah.
Matt's trying to think of like the best defense he could. He's trying really hard. Like,
do you like
say
it?
something?
It's a middle of the pack, maybe slightly second half of the table Marvel film.
Second half. I'm 4-4 usually. By the way, like, I didn't hate Thor 1 and 2, like the way other people hated Thor 1 and 2.
This is infinitely Love and Thunder is infinitely better than Thor 1 and 2.
I will say, I think
I don't know, man.
Matt's probably right because Thor 2 is like horrible.
Thor
but I will say
is one of the worst films ever made.
I will say, Fix is not the first person I've seen make that statement that Love and Thunder is worse than Thor 2. I don't know if that gives credit to what the Fix is saying, but he's not the first.
Bro.
That's just not true.
It's a tangent for another podcast, I'm telling you. But sure, I'm just saying, Marvel right now, Marvel, films, games, TV. You need to do something special to make me care now.
But
we should do a Marvel podcast.
Or we should just do the podcast we was doing where we spoke about tangent things after the podcast.
That's a good point.
True.
That's a good point. But bringing it back to the games, it's too much Marvel, guys. I understand that money is nice, Disney. I get it. But you can rein in a bit. You don't have to have all of the things. You don't have to have a movie every 2 months. You don't have to have 4 games a year.
Here's what I will say. As far as the games are concerned, I think viewing it as like Marvel games is kind of unfair because the Spider-Man game is a Spider-Man game.
No,
the Iron Man game
Marvel
is
game.
an Iron Man game.
No,
I disagree.
It's a Marvel game.
I disagree.
They're Marvel properties, brother.
Sure, they're Marvel properties, but they're not all getting together commingling.
Call me brother.
They're not all meeting
you
up.
You didn't call me brother back. I called you brother. You called me brother back, okay?
Brother, they're not all getting together commingling.
Strange in his accent. Yes, I hear what you're saying, Crash. I think there is a world in which they do start to mingle them. Like Spider-Man is building a bigger world than Spider-Man.
I don't think so.
No.
I do. Okay, sorry. Let me rephrase. I don't think that this Iron Man game will be tied into the Insomniac Spider-Man game. Obviously. I don't think that'll happen. But my point is that in that Spider-Man game, they are building a bigger world than Spider-Man. Like, Fantastic Four exist canonically in that game, as does Iron Man, as do the Avengers, and da-da-da-da-da. And so...
Spoilers.
I'm gonna argue with you because if you played old Spider-Man games, they did the same thing that they did in this Spider-Man game, where there's a whole bunch of references to the Avengers and a whole bunch of other Marvel characters. We're just so used to what the MCU did that we see those things and we're like, there's going to be an Avengers game. There's going to be this character and that character and all that stuff. And I think it's reading a little bit too much into Insomniac just putting Easter eggs and just being like, well, this would be here and that would be there, and this is comic accurate or a reference to a comic or something like that.
I'm with Crash, but I'm just saying, like, for this game to be good, they need the same engine, or not even the same engine, but the same code that they use for Anthem.
Problem with the Anthem one is it was made on the Frostbite engine, and I don't think I'd want the game on the Frostbite engine.
As long as it's good, I don't care what engines it's on. That's what I'm saying. Like, whatever they got to do to... Like this needs to be good. Like gameplay wise, forget the story. Like I couldn't give a crap about Iron Man's story. The gameplay they have to nail.
Go on, Crash.
I think the problem is like the Frostbite engine would end up messing up in some of the spots that Anthem did. Like when you see like character models and people speaking and stuff like that, you never really saw it unless you went into that first person mode. And I do think you'd have issues like that with Frostbite. And I do think that I don't think that they'll use it because I think EA for the most part have moved away from using Frostbite with a lot of their studios. Like BioWare's supposed to be working on Mass Effect with Unreal, aren't they?
Yeah, I think so. I think you're right.
Yeah. So I don't think they use it, and I would hope that they wouldn't use it. But I hope that they do look at Anthem for reference in what they do with that game.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I totally agree. What I was going to say very quickly is we're absolutely right? Like gameplay is king here in a sense where Guardians of the Galaxy, it wasn't necessarily. Guardians of the Galaxy was about story and relationships and choices, and the gameplay was weak. And so, it's difficult to pull that off, I think. Obviously, for Iron Man, they have to nail the gameplay. And it's obviously not relevant to this audience, but Iron Man on PSVR was like actually really fucking good and made you feel like Iron Man. And I don't think you can do that on a controller. I'm happy to be proven wrong.
Anthem.
No.
Anthem did it.
Anthem did it.
It's not though, is it?
Yeah, but
it really is.
If you literally played it on PC and had a modded version and you put Iron Man in that literally one of those classes, like literally.
Maybe I'll have to go back and put some time into Anthem. Didn't they shut down the servers?
You can't put time into Anthem anymore. It's impossible.
It's dead. But you know, we are right. We are 100% right. You're wrong. Between us, we put like 500 hours into Anthem.
No, I don't believe that for a second.
Oh, I put like 80 to 100 on PC alone.
So Crash put in 410.
No, and then I had an Xbox.
We've at least put in 300 hours together into Anthem.
Yeah, I don't believe you're calling me out like this. I need to see how many hours I put into Anthem now.
Oh, you don't.
5 hours.
Like 7.
How dare you? The way you have called me out today.
But yeah, no, you are wrong about Anthem. Anthem had a whole bunch of issues, and one of the issues was like the world structure and stuff like that. And the way the looter aspect of the game interacted with the gameplay wasn't that satisfying, but the gameplay itself was very, very satisfying in that game.
You're so lucky. My achievements are not loading on my Xbox app.
Oh,
you're
what a
so
shame.
lucky.
It's because they shut down the servers, mate. It doesn't even exist anymore.
What, of the whole Xbox
no
Live?
achievements.
Yeah. All the achievements get wiped when they did that. Didn't you know that?
Somebody had like a million gamer score and it went down after they took down the game.
You like idiots. You're so lucky. Moving on, we'll get through our last two stories. Two that are really going to matter to Crash. Tekken 8 has officially been announced. It got announced at the most recent State of Play. An in-engine trailer was shown with a few of the fighters in a heated battle in the rain. It was announced for PS5 during the showcase, obviously, but has recently been confirmed for Xbox Series X, Xbox Series S, and PC 2.
Yeah, this is a huge story. It was looking good. I don't know how much that's going to dictate how it looks end game, but it'll be a huge improvement over Tekken 7, which I think came out in arcades in 2013. So like it's been a long time for Tekken. I recently started learning Tekken 7. Actually, I'd never really been a Tekken guy.
Huh.
Why do you look shocked?
You know, I thought it was Clear Instinct till you die.
Oh,
Clearly not.
Why do you have to bring up Killer Instinct sometime? You know what hurts me? It hurts me so much. What were you gonna say, Matt?
I was gonna say I think the last Tekken game I played was like Tekken Tag Tournament, Tekken 4, probably Tekken 5.
Ooh, great.
I don't.
So go on, Crash.
As far as I'm aware, you'd feel right at home with Tekken.
Really?
Yeah, so from my understanding, and mind you, Tekken 7's, I've played Tekken games before, but I've never really tried learning Tekken games. And I have a buddy who plays, and I've been talking to him about it, and he's like, yeah, Tekken 7 is really, like, they carry stuff over from past games. So it really is It really is built upon what was previously there. It's like move lists are incredibly huge because characters rarely ever get stuff taken away from them and stuff like that. It does occasionally happen, so don't quote me on it doesn't happen. But
Yeah, of course.
as far as I'm aware, you feel very much at home with this.
The thing that terrifies me is when we've just been talking about Tekken right now, I've been saying play, you've been saying learn, and that doesn't sound fun.
No, but Chris is into fighting games, so
Yeah.
like
I
he
know,
actually.
but like,
Yeah, I wanna I wanna know like how to do combos properly. I wanna know the mechanics. I wanna know how it works. Like I learned a whole bunch of stuff about Tekken, and Tekken fundamentally works different than other fighting games. So for me, it really is not just like a play experience. It is very much learn from the ground up a new type of fighting game.
I want
but
you
I
all
just
to know
wanna-
I'm still looking for my anthem. Game time, and
I respect it.
I'm not gonna. Here we go. 1 second. Here we go. It's just loading. I've gone onto
thought you
the
were ready.
Xbox. I've gone onto the Xbox. You son of a.
It's not gonna work, is it?
It doesn't tell me how many hours I've played.
What's it say?
It just tells me my gamer
How
score.
many of the achievements?
I got
Did you 1,000 G yet?
655. No, 655 out of 1,000 though.
Nothing. Chump
I hate
change.
I hate you so much. Why are you so mean to me? Why? Alright, well, I tried. I'm sorry. I don't know how many hours I put into Anthem. I actually went for a lot of effort there. And
But
a lot. Yeah, go on.
All I was going to say is, Crash, I had a blast playing multiverses with you, and I'm very aware they're very, very, very different fighting games. But I'll jump into a fighting game with you, Crash. I'll be your punching bag.
I fought Chris once.
IRL.
No. Unfortunately, no.
Yeah, he came over to New York. He saw me with my Tim's on, and he walked away.
Like, bro, you're already 6'2". Why you got Tim's on to me 6'3", fam? What the fuck? No, we played. We did the. Should we do that again?
Oh, the whole tournament thing.
We did. So me and Crash
that was
back
so
in the
fun.
day, yeah, we did a tournament where it was we both picked a game. We picked 2 games each, and then we put 1 game in the middle that like we were both not good at or we didn't know. To see who would become victorious and be the ultimate gamer. So we played Killer Instinct. We played, bro, with Game Pass now as well, Crash.
Ooh,
Like, back then, like-
put it to only Game Pass
Like,
games.
yeah, well, that
Or
would-
games
that
we
would be
both
good.
know we both have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we had Madden that we played, FIFA
Yeah.
that we played, Worms that we played, Killer
Yeah.
Instinct that we played, and
Rocket League,
was Rocket League one? of them?
Rainbow Six.
Oh, we must have done.
It was
player
more than-
games.
it was
Oh, I
more
thought it was
than-
5.
Yeah,
you're
I think
right.
it was 5 each
Best
of
of
us.
5. It might have been, and we just it was something. I don't know.
It was 5 each of us, and if it tied, there was a tiebreaker that was the middle ground, if I'm not mistaken. You can guess that Fix picked all the sports games, the games that he picked UFC as well. He picked
Oh,
games
yeah!
that he knew. I could
UFC.
not play for the life of me.
So no, but Madden was actually close.
It was
remember?
close. I remember that. Yeah. That. It went into overtime, if I'm not mistaken.
Because I forgot to kick the ball in the last play. Because I didn't know the rules of Madden back in the
yeah.
day. Yeah, Madden.
It was fun.
We should
It was
do that
very,
again.
very fun.
And then like the winner plays Matt, and then the 2 losers play each other.
Ooh,
Now,
that would be
it's
very
Do
fun.
you know what's crazy though? Now with Game Pass, like that is so much. Back then, I was saying Chris to download all the games with gold games. I was like,
Yeah.
we need to just get games that we both have. Like that was like that's got to have been like 6-7 years ago.
Oh yeah. Did that happen before there was the affiliates? That happened before affiliates. I think.
Before affiliate was a thing and stuff like that.
Yeah, so it was. That was a long time ago.
Jeez, Matt, well,
That was very fun. Let us know if you guys want us to do that.
I think that would be fun, really fun. Last one, Street Fighter 6 has also got some new details been revealed, including character customizations and 4 returning fighters.
They announced the full roster for the game at this point.
Oh.
Did you watch the stuff? I think you'd actually like what was shown there.
I haven't seen the new stuff. I'm pretty sure I watched the first trailer for Street Fighter 6.
Yeah.
Wasn't there like a whole dojo area and like?
Well, they have the world tour. Do they call it a world tour mode? I think it's world tour mode in this game, where it is basically you create your character, you go to different people, and you learn from them and stuff like that. And they show that off in this, and I think you'd actually like enjoy that portion of it. I don't know if it'd make you get into the game,
No, but there's
I
a
do
story
think
mode
that's
that's
up your
worth
alley.
me. You know how much I love sports story modes.
Yeah,
And fighting is just one gigantic sport, you know, of getting beat
very
up.
true. Very
So
true.
are you saying you want me to get this so you can just beat me up? Is that what you're
I'm
telling
not saying
me?
I want you to get it. I'm just saying because of what you said when Street Fighter 6 was first shown, that is something you should at least watch.
I'm telling you now, Crash. I'll get Street Fighter 6,
Yeah.
but I'm buying a fight stick too. Because you know me, I go all the way in when I go in, just like me and my Forza, remember? 'Cause I had to have a steering wheel to play Forza. I had to. I look at the thing up there now, and I'm like, what the hell? What's that, sorry?
How have you not hooked up that steering wheel for GTA RP? So that when you get in a car, you drive a car?
I don't think you can do that.
Nah, you probably
That's
could.
next level. That's
You
when
probably
everybody's required to have a
But-
steering wheel.
Do you know how hard it is to drive in GTA as it is, bro? I'm already terrible. Imagine with a steering wheel. Oh, God, no.
Might be even better.
You don't want to buy a fighting stick fix. You don't need a fight stick.
Gresh, I'm so already ingrained, I found out there's fighting sticks that has the buttons for movement. You didn't know I knew that.
I forget what they're called.
You didn't know I knew that, Crash?
Those are considered cheating.
No, they're not. They are
People
frowned
consider them
upon.
cheating.
They are frowned
People-
upon within
people
the
consider them
fighting game
cheating.
community, but
People
they're
consider
not
them
cheating.
You'd be a cheater fix.
Crash,
You'd be
see,
a
I'm already in.
You'd be a dirty cheater fix. Don't be a cheater.
Matt looks like he's
No,
gonna cry. Matt, you okay?
Are you talking about buying a fighting stick without a stick?
Yes.
Yes. So these are to elaborate. I don't remember what they're called off the
Me
top
either.
of my head. But the purpose of them is fight sticks are really bad on the wrist, and some people with like arthritis struggle with fight sticks, and so that's sort of the purpose that they were made for. But they make a lot of fighting games easier because it's impossible to put in a wrong input, and the layout on a fighting stick works better for a lot of fighting games as opposed to using a pad. So ultimately, like it fixes right. It's not cheating. It is frowned upon. I do think there are some tournaments that do ban the use of it because it is an advantageous thing that you should not be able to use. I think it's whatever.
You've got
I
a
think,
fight stick, right?
Yeah, a fight stick. Yeah.
So I'm just saying, like, we do this tournament. You ain't got a steering wheel by any chance, have you?
No, there's no shot I'm buying a steering wheel as well.
No, but I might buy you
I'm pretty
one.
sure the steering wheel would be more expensive than the fight stick.
I might buy you one, though, just so we can add some peripherals to this tournament.
And then I'll ship it out to Matt when it's Matt's turn.
No,
that
Matt
would
can
cost
buy
a
his own.
fortune.
Matt can buy his own. I haven't got
I
time for
can
that.
source one. I'll find one.
But yeah, that's all the news this week, guys. We got a bunch of questions, but we've gone long once again, so we'll save them for next week. I do apologize. Let's plug and get stuff out of it. Well, go on, hit me.
I was going to say, we're going to be getting into sort of slow news territory relatively soon.
Yes.
And so we will get to your questions, we promise.
Yes.
There's an even bigger backlog on Discord that I haven't touched because I was like, we have so many questions here. I don't want to start adding questions and missing questions that we've had here that some people that might need to get to. And I was looking at it, I was like, at some point we might have to trim off some of these questions that are a little bit outdated on topic wise, but
100%. Some of them won't be relevant anymore. We can't get to them all, unfortunately. But keep them coming. Don't ever feel like we can never have too many. There's no such thing.
True. It's true.
Let's plug. Get yourself out of here. What have you got to plug? Matt P video.
Well, it sounds like you're going to want to subscribe to the YouTube channel because people are excited to stream some video content into your face.
Okay. Yep. All right, Matt. Okay. Crash, what you got to plug this week?
leave a review on podcasts on iTunes. I just checked. What I was gonna have to plug was gonna be the review, but there is no new review, at least over in America. So leave some reviews. You know, sometimes it gets a little lonely checking it out and nobody's reviewed it.
There's not been a new review since January 3rd.
Wow.
In the UK.
Ooh.
I need new reviews, guys. I don't care if you have to beat up your grandma and steal her phone. I need new reviews. I need them.
If you could just steal her phone without beating her up, that'd be better.
Absolutely not. If you do not beat up your grandma first,
Don't steal her phone.
and you borrow her phone, not even steal. Borrow. Doesn't count. All right. So I need someone to review this week saying, "Hey, beat up my grandma, 5 stars." Yo, do it. Someone do it. Someone do it. I haven't got anything to plug, really. I've got a few songs that have come out as of lately. I'm doing a few features. So if you care about that, head over to Spotify, search MC Fixer. You will find my dumb face. And about 25 songs I've put out this year, which is nuts. Nuts. Yeah, some of them are good. I think all of them are good, but some of them are good. Other than that, yeah, I think... as I'm sure, if you are someone who understands the live streaming platforms world, you will know that Twitch is in a weird place right now. And I think the My Xbox and Me team are going to make a real push for more live content, including the podcast, relatively soon. But like we said, we've got to nail down a day. Unfortunately, I feel like we've got to pick a day. I feel like, as much as I don't want to work Sundays, I feel like maybe Sundays. I feel like a Sunday... an hour on a Sunday, live for everyone to watch, could be cool. But we'll talk about that more later on, at another date. Until next time, love you, leave you, see you later. Keep it amazing. Good boy.
Bye.